is a very special whole house reverse osmosis system that we built for a historical home in Del Mar, California that's been restored. And because of the age of the home, the access to the area where they wanted their water treatment was quite limited. There were very short doors, so we had to do the whole system in a very custom manner. Once the unit is in, we'll be bringing the existing household water to this fitting. Then the water goes through this tank, which is our aquifer. The aquifer does three things. It'll take most of the chlorine out of the water, and it will change the state of the hardness so that the hardness in the water will not affect the membrane system. In addition, it does a pretty good job of reducing any heavy metals that are in the water. Now, once the water goes through here, it is further processed by a 5-micron filter here and also a carbon filter. And the carbon filter will take out any remaining organics that are in the water. Then the water flows into a high-pressure pump, and from the high-pressure pump, it's forced into this chamber, which is a nano membrane, similar to a reverse osmosis membrane, but it's got some significant advantages. First of all, it takes all the hardness out of the water, which is primary to customers. It'll also take out any virus or bacteria or mold or spores that's in the water. But it operates at a significantly lower pressure than reverse osmosis, and it has a higher level of TDS in the finished water, which is good for homes because the residual TDS will prevent any damages to the plumbing in the home. Then the water comes out of this system and goes into the storage tanks. And the storage tanks also were selected because of the access, so they're relatively small diameter, can be set on their side and slip through a door. And another unique feature of this unit is we put in some special switches, so if the unit senses that the tanks are getting very close to empty, the water is brought into the tank through the filter system, kind of bypassing the nano unit. So we have a very good chance of keeping the tanks full of water. After the storage, as the customer has a demand for water, it goes into this repressure pump. The entrance to the pump is right here. And the beauty of this system is that it's controlled with a variable frequency drive. So if the customer gets up in the middle of the night and wants a single glass of water, the pump won't even run. The water will come out of this tank. Then let's say they flush a toilet using a bit more water, then the pump will start, but it'll run very slowly and provide just enough water for that application. In the morning, when people want to take multiple showers, then the pump speeds up. It senses the need for more water. The pump speeds up, and it'll produce up to 25 gallons a minute, which for this particular application, because of the size of the home and also the lifestyle, they desired a high flow of water. As the water exits the pump, there's a final treatment, which is right here, which is a ultraviolet light. So should there be any contamination taking place, as water is withdrawn, some air goes in. If there's some spores or something, that's taken care of by the ultraviolet light. So the final distribution to the home is through this fitting at the end marked to home. Now the whole system is all integrated by a single control center here, which is solid state in nature. It's got a microprocessor, and it displays at any time the quality of the water going into the unit, the quality of the water coming out of the tanks, the temperature of the water, and how many hours the unit has operated. So it's very good for diagnostic purposes. As the customer sets the unit up, we have the product flow showing how much water is being made, the drain flow, which shows how much water is going to drain, and with a nanofilter system, the ratio is quite high. Very little drain and a high flow rate, product flow rate, and they can all be adjusted with the valves down here. And at any given time, they can look and see what the water pressure is coming to the system, the pressure of the water leaving the filters, the pressure of the water from the high pressure pump, and the pressure of the water in their home. So it's just loaded with information for the consumer. Typical of our whole house systems, they're built on wheels, so it makes it very easy to install, and especially if you want to clean behind it or move it for any reason, it's a relatively simple thing to do. This one is set with a 12-foot power cord, so it can be plugged in to a convenient outlet, and it's also set up for 230 volt application. We can also do it at 115 volt, and we can provide what's called hard wiring if local codes insist that you have a conduit connection and not a wire connection, so that's an easy option to do. The UV light is monitored, and typically a UV light has 1 year lamp life, and the lamp life is displayed. And at any given time, if there's a problem with the lamp going out, the unit will beep and let the consumer know that they have to replace the lamp. So it's a complete integrated system from raw water to storage to post-treatment and then back into the home. This one is designed to produce 1,500 gallons of water a day. We do them as small as 500 gallons a day, and the largest one we've done is 10,000 gallons a day for an extremely large home and and large family. So that's a basic idea of what we're doing here with whole house treatment. And I want to highlight the fact that we're dealing with nanofiltration, and not everybody does that. It's got so many advantages. Less wasted water, water quality coming out of the unit, that's very acceptable from a taste standpoint, but still high enough that it's not going to have any negative effects on the plumbing.